Hey guys, long time no see. The last time that I posted a video, I said I was so excited to finally be able to film more consistently, and then I went MIA for like 5 months. So good for me for just lying again. There was always something to do or fix or upgrade about the house. So I was just really busy is honestly what it was. But I feel like for the most part, all of the things we really wanted to get done about the house is completed. So I have some free time. So I thought I would sit down and get ready with you guys. I am going somewhere. I have to leave the house around 12:15. So I have to be done by 12. It is now 11:32, which if I wasn't filming, I wouldn't be nervous about that because a half hour is plenty of time, but I am filming, so we kind of have to get going. But I'm just gonna do a get ready with me, a little bit of a life update, if you will. I'll talk about some of the products that I've been using. I might not talk about every single product, but just know that all of the products, as always, is gonna be listed in my description box below. I'm gonna start off with my base. It's what I'm most comfortable with. I recently got the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I've used it about 2 or 3 times so far. I actually really like this one. I'm enjoying it thus far. I wore it for a full work day and my makeup seemed to last really well. So this one gets a thumbs up for me so far. As you can see, my skin is doing really well. I know that a lot of you were here for like my acne journey or my foundation series and wear test because I had acne prone skin. I would still say that I still get acne. The amount of acne and the type of acne is definitely way less severe. I am still taking back trim. Originally, when I went to the dermatologist, she gave me clindamycin and we knew right away that that wasn't working. I tried it for like a full month. She switched me to back trim and that worked pretty much immediately. Like within the week, I already noticed a difference. And at night, I also use like a retin-aid type situation to help with the scarring. I'm not always consistent with it, but I try. But overall, I'm pretty happy with where my skin's at. Like when I go back on my old videos and I see what my skin used to look like, it's like, why didn't I go to the dermatologist sooner? I went before, but I just never went diligently to really find a solution. I was kind of just finding products over the counter to see if it would help. But I really should have just went to the dermatologist and it would have saved my skin a lot of suffering. For foundation, I'm using the LYS Triple Fix foundation. I usually on a day-to-day basis use the Urban Decay Stay Naked. This is the Hydromaniac one. I love this foundation. If you guys remember, it's been a while, I know. I used to mix the Urban Decay Stay Naked and the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator together all the time. This is that if they made a baby. Both of those foundations, the Stay Naked and the Tinted Hydrator, are great on their own and I would highly recommend them, like either or. The only thing is the Urban Decay Stay Naked, my preferences has changed in what I like in a foundation and I like it to be not as matte. That one is super matte, so I would add the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator just so that it gave it like a satin matte finish. So this one feels like those two foundations combined. The shade I use is 51 Medium, which I feel like is a really good match. However, last week I went to Aruba, so I am a little bit tan. Can you guys see my tan line? Yeah, you can, right there. So my foundation shade is a little bit different. I still really like this one. It's just that usually I am not this shade. As far as any updates about me in general, I mean, you guys know that I moved, or if you didn't know, I moved. That's why I took a really long hiatus and we had to do a bunch of stuff for the house. We got a fence up so that we don't have to walk the dogs as much, and especially in the winter, it's gonna come in clutch. We got ceiling fans for most of the room. We got new furniture. We got a king-size bed. I've never had a king-size bed. And now that I have one, I don't think I can ever go back. We built a gym downstairs in the basement so that I can work out. My best friend's wedding is next month in November. It's actually on Black Friday. I do fit my bridesmaid's dress, but I would like to slim down a little bit because it fits, but when I sit down, I'm a little worried about that. So I want to lose a little bit of weight just so that I'm comfortable in the dress. I don't know if I really want a second layer of foundation. I feel like I just kind of wanted to even things out. So I think we're going to stop here. I'm going to move on to concealer. I recently picked up the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I tried their original matte version. I really like that one, but it's just, you have to blend it out in sections, like apply concealer, blend it out, apply concealer, blend it out, because it dries down so fast. I feel like this one is more forgiving. Like you could apply the concealer to different regions of your face and then go back in and blend. So I don't have to work as hastily. The shade that I'm using is light beige, but I also really like the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I use this one really often too. This one is medium beige. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna use the Milani one just because I feel like this one is a little bit, is it darker? I don't know. They just look like different undertones. You know what? I've already committed. This is fine. We have about 15 more minutes. Do you ever see the TikToks where girls are getting ready and they're like, I have 10 minutes to get ready. I have to be done by 9 o'clock. It is now 8:47 and they're like talking like, oh my God, please stop talking. Just do your makeup. You're making me nervous. I follow this woman on TikTok. She's a news reporter. She has to be live on camera at 5 o'clock a.m. and she'll be sitting in her cubicle doing her makeup and she's like, it's 4:47. I'm gonna put on my foundation. As she continues talking, she tells her time. 4:56, putting on the false lashes. I'm like, oh my God, are you gonna make it? You're gonna be on TV, live. Like, aren't you stressed? And she does it every day. I could never. The last time that we spoke, I think I told you guys I got a new job. I'm still at that job. I've been there for a year now. I think having my job is also a reason why I've put off filming. Not filming, but editing, because editing is the most time consuming part of this whole like making a video experience. It's my least favorite thing. I don't want to sit there for hours listening to my voice and editing it over and over again. And with my job, when I come home, I am exhausted, like mentally, physically. So I don't really want to be sitting down and doing more work, because editing to me feels like work. Filming doesn't feel like work, but editing does. So I feel like that's also why I delayed filming as long as I did. I'm trying really hard to just not have excuses for everything. Like, oh, I can't do this because I'm tired, or like, I've already done this. And like, I just really want to be better about, if I really want something enough, then I will make the time for it. And I never had a doubt about coming back to YouTube. Like, I always knew I wanted to. It's just, I kept making excuses like, the house needs this to be done, or we haven't had a break in a while. Like, there are so many different facets of my life that I feel like I need to fulfill. I'm working on it, okay? I'm trying the very best I can. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's new. Oh, last month was September and I turned 30. So that's kind of a big milestone. So I'm officially in my 30s, 30, flirty, and hold on. Am I thriving? I think so. My eye look is gonna be super basic. I've been using the same palette for like the past year, really. Anastasia Modern Renaissance. I've even hit pan on one of them, which is exciting. So I go in with these two, Raw Sienna, Burnt Orange, and I add that as like my base color. This is gonna be all matte look, by the way. It's not gonna be groundbreaking, but it's kind of like my foolproof look when I wanna look put together, just because it goes with anything. Today I'm going to a pumpkin patch type thing. So there's like a corn maze, there are games like axe throwing. I think there's like food trucks there. And there's lots of like little areas to take pictures. Like they put a lot of stands. It's very Instagrammy, I would say. And then with a smaller packing brush, I usually go in with, I kind of go all over the place, but it's somewhere in between red ochre, cypress umber, and realgar. I just kind of mix all three. And that's gonna be for my outer corner. And then once I place it down and blend it a little bit, I do it really hastily. This is really foolproof for me because I've done it so many times. Then I go in with the first brush that I use for the base colors, and then I just kind of blend the edges so it softens it up a little bit. And I also kind of flick it just so that it has more of that like upward lifting effect. Does it actually do anything? I don't know. I like to convince myself it does. And then the last thing that I do is I take a flat brush, like you can see it's crimped, it's not totally flat. It's got a little bit of a fluffiness to it. But I will take the first shade, Tempura, and it's a matte shade, but I will put it in the inner / mid. And then I just kind of blend it out. And then if you need to, you just kind of go back and forth a little bit with the colors. And if you want this to be darker, you know, you could intensify it by adding more of the dark brown. I'm gonna take just what's residual on this brush. I'm gonna pinch it and line my bottom lash ever so slightly because I don't want this to be a super like dark look. And I think I'm done with the powders. So I'm gonna quickly set this. I'm using the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfist. I really like the mist on this. It's very fine. It's not spitting at you. That's another thing that I've been doing with my makeup. I didn't show all the steps, but between a lot of the layers, I'm setting. Like when I add my primer, afterwards I set. And then I do my foundation, like I do all my creams, like my concealer, foundation, and stuff like that. And then I set again. And then when I'm done with all my powders, I set again. It's like layers set in between each other. It really helps with my makeup staying on longer, which I need it to because I'm gonna be out for a while today. How am I doing on time? I have 1 minute. Oh my God. My friend is gonna be here. She's driving with us. She'll be here in 10 minutes. So we can do this, we can do this. I'm using a lip oil by Merrick. I love this stuff. This is in the shade Marrakesh. It gives the slightest tint, but the way it makes my lips feel, it's just the best. It's super lightweight. And this I will throw in my purse and just reapply because it's not like it has a lot of staying power. I just like the small tint and then the way it feels on my lips. For my eyebrows, I'm just gonna use some brow gel, which is also by Merit. Set them in place. Mascara, lashes, we're good. Where's my mascara? For mascara, I'm using the Tarte tubing mascara. I've used this twice and I love it. I can already tell. Tubing mascaras are just the way to go because I don't like waterproof mascaras. Not on a day-to-day basis just because they're so hard to remove, and when I fully get the mascara off, I take off a bunch of lashes with it. So I prefer non-waterproof mascaras on a day-to-day basis, but a lot of them leave me with panda eyes. But when you have a tubing mascara, that never happens, at least not with me. I've been really liking this one. It gives me like really good length and nice separation, and it's very easy removal. And it actually is pretty durable in terms of moisture because I wore this to work, and then I was having lunch with my friend and we were talking about sad movies like Schindler's List, and then we started talking about Marley and Me and how, spoiler alert, the dog dies at the end. And then we started talking about our dogs dying, and then we were both, why did we do this to ourselves? I don't know. The point is, I was wearing this mascara, we were both crying during lunch about our dogs dying, and my mascara looked good. So even if you're crying a little bit, it still holds on pretty well. Highly recommend this one. By the way, I just want to say that nothing's wrong with my dogs. Like, we just think about our dogs dying and then get sad about it, but my dogs are fine. Willow is going to be 7 next month in November, which is wild to think about. I got both my dogs when they were 8 to 10 weeks old or something like that. So it's just crazy how time flies. But Willow is good. Millie is good. I'm gonna not do lashes today. My friend just texted me that she's on the way. It takes her 7 minutes to get here. I already know that. So I have to change, add some dry shampoo to the roots because I'm a little greasy. This one's my favorite dry shampoo, the Dove one. I like all of them except the one that's like tinted for brown hair. I don't like that one. And there's like a Dove dry shampoo mousse. I also don't like that one, but all the other ones I like. And because my ends are a little frizzy, I also really like, I've been using this one, the Verb Ghost Oil. So I take about 1.5 pumps. A little goes a long way. Rub it in between and just go into the ends, gets away the frizz, gives it a nice shine without it looking greasy. That's very important because my hair gets greasy kind of easily, which is why I go through so many bottles of dry shampoo. So this just really helps tame all the baby hairs, makes everything look sleek, and makes my hair feel less crunchy too. See, isn't that so much better? All right, guys, this is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed spending some time with me today. Like I said, I'm trying my very hardest to prioritize this more just because I do love it. It's just, I have a lot of priorities, but I am human. But if you have stuck around this long, I just want to say thank you so much. I have missed you. Let me know what other types of videos you want to see. I have a couple that I want to do, but I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one.